To be born a cow, all of India is a good place. Different state governments go to different lengths to protect the cow. Within India, to be born a girl child, Kerala is a good place. Or is it? This week we celebrated the International Day of the Girl Child. This week, Kerala added another feather to its list of women's achievements. 9 of its 14 districts now have women collectors, or 2/3 of all districts in Kerala are run by women collectors, first for India. 5 of those 9 women are Keralites: Divya S. Iyer, P.K. Jayashree, Sheba George, Harita V. Kumar, and Geeta A. Of the other 4, Navjot Khosa is from Punjab, Afsana Parveed is from Jharkhand, and Mrinmay Joshi and Bandari Swagat Ranveer Chand are from Maharashtra. It is not just in the number of women collectors that Kerala stands apart from the rest of India. Across a range of health and social indices, Kerala's girls and women are distinctly ahead of the peers in India. Kerala's infant mortality rate, which is the number of deaths per 1,000 live births, is only 7, close to that of the United States at 5.6, while India's infant mortality average is 28. For better perspective, Kerala's infant mortality rate of 7 puts it close to that of the OECD nations, which have an IMR of 6, while India's 28 would put it alongside Rwanda, Bangladesh, and Botswana. On female literacy, India's average of 78% is way below Kerala's 95%, and there are states like Rajasthan where female literacy is as low as 58%. On maternal mortality rate, which is the number of maternal deaths for every 100,000 live births, India's maternal mortality rate stands at 113. The World Health Organization's Sustainable Development Goal is to bring down the maternal mortality rate to below 70 by 2030. Kerala already has an MMR of only 43, the best in India and comparable to the 41 of the upper middle income nations of the world. These are glorious statistics for Kerala's women, forming an ideal socio-economic platform from where they've taken off, producing India's first High Court judge in Anna Chandi to a transgender doctor in Dr. V.S. Priya. In between, there have been numerous other achievers, from an Olympian P.T. Usha, who missed an athletic medal by a whisker in Los Angeles Olympics, to India's missile woman Tessie Thomas, to the 2012 civil services topper Harita V. Kumar. There seems to be no stopping Kerala women. This week, when the Kerala Administrative Service results were announced, women literally eclipsed men, taking all the top ranks. In Stream 1, ranks 1, 2, 3 and 4 all went to women. Logic would then suggest that women rule the roost in Kerala. Sadly, the truth is despairingly different. The most gruesome and sickening crimes are being committed against women in Kerala, as they are viciously oppressed by a devilish combination of male muscle and deep-rooted patriarchy. Consider these recent incidents, each one of them spine-chilling and mind-numbing. At Anchal in Kerala's Kollam district, Uttara, a 25-year-old woman, was killed by her husband Suraj Kumar by using a cobra, and that after failing in his first attempt to kill her using a viper. At Pala in Kottayam district, Nitina Mol, an undergraduate student, was killed by her classmate Abhishek Baiju. Because Nitina Mol spurned his love, or what he thought was love, Abhishek slit her throat on the college campus using a paper cutter blade. In Malappuram, 46-year-old Musa Kuti, a rubber tapper, committed suicide, unable to bear the torment his 20-year-old daughter had to undergo in her husband's house. Before he took his life, Musa Kuti recorded a heartbreaking video in which he breaks down multiple times, narrating the torture his daughter had to face in her in-laws' house. And in the state capital Thiruvananthapuram this week, a man stabbed to death his father-in-law and brother-in-law because his wife refused to continue living with him. All of this happening in Kerala? Listen to Kerala Women's Commission Chairperson P. Sati Devi.
വീടുകൾക്കകത്ത് ജനാധിപത്യം എന്ന് നമ്മൾ വെറുതെ പറഞ്ഞാൽ പോരാ. നമ്മുടെ വീടുകൾക്കകത്ത് ആൺകുട്ടികളെയും പെൺകുട്ടികളെയും തുല്യമായി വീക്ഷിക്കുന്നതിനുള്ള മനോഭാവം വളർത്തിയെടുക്കാൻ നമുക്ക് വീടിന്റെ അകത്തളങ്ങളിൽ തന്നെ കഴിയേണ്ടതായിട്ടുണ്ട്.
I asked historian, author and faculty at the Center for Development Studies J. Devika how one can reconcile achievements like 9 women collectors and oppression of women going hand in hand.
So many women coming to power, and that will probably have an impact on the young Indians. So that psychological long-term effect is undeniable. There are second generation problems that are quite severe actually. If you look at the violence against women in Kerala, for example, it's growing like nobody's business. In Kerala nowadays, what you find is this insistence of our leading communities that women should not take decisions for themselves. Young women are not allowed to take any decision on their own, except maybe about education, and that too you need the concurrence of family members.
Actor and psychologist Mala Parvati says significant social changes are happening because women have begun exercising their choices.
The choice exercise ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു കാലഘട്ടമാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ. സ്ത്രീകളുടെ ചോയ്സ് എക്സസൈസ് ചെയ്യുക, എല്ലാവരും അനുസരിക്കുക എന്നുള്ളത് വിട്ടിട്ട് ഒരാളെ വേണ്ട എന്ന് പറയാനും അവരുടെ ഒരു എഫർമേറ്റീവ് ആയിട്ട് നോ പറയുകയൊക്കെ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു കാലഘട്ടമാണ്. ആൻഡ് ദിസ് ഇസ് എ സർപ്രൈസ് എലിമെന്റ് ഫോർ മെനി. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള വൈൽഡ് റിയാക്ഷൻസ് വരുന്നത്. Women used to be very obedient. അതിന് റിയാക്ട് ചെയ്തില്ലായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ പെൺപിള്ളേരെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അവർ ഭയങ്കര അഗ്രസീവ് ആണ്. അവരവരുടെ ചോയ്സ് എക്സസൈസ് ചെയ്യും.
Kerala's women may have begun exercising their choices, but the state's patriarchy appears difficult to disband, despite attempts like making college students take a vow that they will not give or take dowry. And that patriarchy is reflected even in mass media. So we see headlines like housewife elopes, but we don't see a headline like homeman elopes. To protect India's cows and end mob lynching of those transporting cattle, India's Federal Minister for Animal Husbandry Giriraj Singh has an absurd solution. Use sex-sorted semen so that only female calves are born. It would be an everlasting shame for every male in Kerala if someone suggests use of sex-sorted semen so that only girl children are born in Kerala to save them from offensive, oppressive and violent men. Since we are on the topic of women and girls, this video is dedicated to Pathu Fatima, a BA philosophy student and an amputee model from Kollam, Kerala, who was recently chosen the Best Inspirer model at a fashion show in Goa. Fatima says it's not only those who loved her and supported her who contributed to her success, but also those who told her she wouldn't be able to achieve anything because she was an amputee.